Gopijana Girivaradha Gopijana Girivaradha Yashodhana Jagannatha Yashodhana Rajana Yam Pira Avanachari Ratira Avanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shiva Sarita Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Radha Muleedhara Radha Muleedhara Jaya Gaurachana Jaya Gaurachana Jaya Gaurachana Jaya Nitai Gaura Hari Hari Jaya Gaura Hari Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Samavent Bonu, Chapter 81. It's the discussion between Krishna and Sudama. Text 40. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So reading this verse today. एवं स विप्रो भगवत्सुहृत्तदा दृष्ट्वा स्वभृत्यैरजितं पराजितं तद्ध्यानवेगात् ग्रथितात्मबन्धना श्रद्धामलेभे चिरतः सतां गतिम्. What the word meaning? Evam thus saha he Vipra the Brahmana Bhagavat of Supreme Lord Suhrat the friend Tada then Drishtva seeing Swa his own Bhrityai by the servants Ajitam unconquerable Parajitam conquered Tat upon him Dhyana of his meditation Vega by the momentum Udgrathita, untied, Atma of the self, Bandhana, his bondage, Tat, his, Dhama, abode, Lebhe, he attained, Achirataha, in a short time, Satam, of great saints, Gatim, destination. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada disciples ki jai. Translation. Thus seeing how the unconquerable Supreme Lord is nonetheless conquered by his own servants. The Lord's dear Brahmana friend felt the remaining knots of material attachment within his heart being cut by the force of his constant meditation on the Lord. In a short time, he attained Lord Krishna's supreme abode, the destination of great saints. Purport. Sudama's earthly fortune has been described, and now Shukadeva Goswami describes the treasure the Brahmana enjoyed in the next world. Sri J. Goswami mentions that Sudama's last trace of illusion lay in the subtle pride of being a renounced Brahmana. This trace was also destroyed by his contemplating the Supreme Lord's submission to his devotees. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashilakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave. Seeking the blessings of all the devotees assembled, especially Adipurush Prabhu and Arjuna Prabhu, so that we can discuss something uplifting in the next 25 minutes or so. So this is a beautiful verse. Today we are looking at. It is close to the winding up of this chapter, the interaction between Sudama and Lord Krishna, and then how they faced, Sudama faced some challenges, and then he ultimately approached Krishna for his taking shelter and then giving some reciprocation. And then Krishna reciprocated, and then he gave him material opulence. And then when Sudama came back, so he was overwhelmed with the material opulence, but still, so he was seeing everything in connection with Sri Krishna. And then that led to his spiritual opulence. That's what in today's verse they're discussing about. What is the spiritual gift Sudama got? And then the next verse is the concluding Falashruti, those who hear this pastime, so what benefit they get. So this is today's shloka is very important to go a little bit in depth and then analyze. So what are the reasons, and then what he got, and then how it is going to affect him. So let us try to do something in this regard. Evam savipro bhagavat suhrida. So when I guess Vasudev Prabhu was giving a class 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago on this particular pastime. So he started, what is the qualification of Sudama? What is the first identity? So when the chapter was being introduced, so they said Sudama was, of course, he's a Brahmana, and then he's a simple blah blah blah. He's learned everything, but the first qualification they were saying is he's Krishna Sakha. So he's a friend of Krishna. Yeah. So and again at this end, they're reiterating the point. Evam Savipro Bhagavat Suhrida. So he's the close friend of Lord. So that is the first qualification of Sudama. So and then the meaning is Suhrud. Suhrud means Hrud means heart. Suhrud means one who is very close to heart. Okay. So in this world, so friendships are quite common. And then often for friendship, this particular example is given, Krishna and Sudama, right? So there are varieties of friendship. Like there is a friendship between Karna and Duryodhan that is also often glorified. But different types of friendship will lead to different consequences, will have different after effects. So some friendships are based on bodily platform. Okay. So we there are what is that called, interest groups, people gather, okay, we are in a foreign land, and then this particular country or this particular regionality, so we form an association. So there is something like in US, so there is a Telugu association, Tamil association. So it's based on the body, like okay, we belong to this particular nativity, so we all come together and then we form a friendship. So that is one thing. And then there is a friendship based on mind. What does that mean? So philosophy, or habits. Uh, there is like alcohol anonymous. So we have friendship. People gather, and then people gather. Certain philosophy writing, certain poetry. People they have groups and then everything. So these are friendships based on the mind or certain philosophy, what they agree upon, right? So the thing is, these particular bases, bodily basis or basis of mind, these friendships are okay, they're fine, but they're for a short period of time, so they don't last long. So they just stay for a certain period of time and then they change, they change the, because you change the citizenships and then you go out of the friendship group, and then your interests may change, and then and then sometimes this friendship may not be uplifting also. Like, okay, you are from my region, I'm from your region, so they form bonds, and they may pull us to something which is not so favorable for our spiritual practice, right? And then so these friendships sometimes they may take us down, they may grab us down, or they may deviate us from the path of spiritual life or spiritual practice. So, so this is what we need to understand. Suhrut, they are still suhrut. They are called as suhrut. They are close to the heart, but so they may drag us away from the spiritual path. But here, the connection of Sudama to Lord Krishna is Bhagavat Suhrut. So it's like connection to the Lord Himself. Now, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, so he says that Suhridam Sarvadehina Jnatva Mam Shantiruchyate. In Bhagavad Gita 5.28, fifth chapter, they said that Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvadehina Jnatva Mam Shantiruchyate. So actually, Krishna is a benefactor of everybody. So if we understand this, then we'll attain peace. So, but the thing is, it is always two ways. So to the extent we reciprocate, Lord also reciprocates. Okay. Um, another point in this friendship or the suhrut based on material platform, body and mind. These friends, if you just contemplate, these friends can become quickly enemies. The so-called thickest friends can become quickly enemies. Why? Because His Holiness Jayadatt Maharaj, Jayadatt Maharaj was telling when I was hearing his class. So these two friends are mutually participating in the same program of sense gratification. So there is always a contention. There is a limited object and there is always a contention. And then when there is a fight, so for the same sense object, so people become, instead of friends, they may become enemies. So that is the nature of friendship based on material platform. But on spiritual platform, so we keep Krishna in the center, and then this particular problem can be overcome. So can be overcome by keeping Krishna in the center, and then service of the Lord in the center. So there is also competition on the spiritual platform, but we compete to serve. So when we are competing to serve, so the enmity will not come. We are keeping Krishna in the center and the pleasure or happiness of Krishna in the center. Two people, two friends, they also compete, but for service. And then, okay, there is limited service. Suppose there is a flower garland making, huh? or else there is an arati to be performed on the day of Janmashtami or the day of Gaura Purnima, an important arati. So there is only one service. Two pujaris cannot be in the altar at the same time, worshipping. So there is a limited service. But the thing is, we try to keep Lord's pleasure in the center. Okay, Lord should be happy. So we understand that if two people are fighting, so Lord will not be happy. So that sort of understanding comes on the spiritual platform. So in the spiritual platform, the two friends are there, and then there is a competition, but still they will remain as friends. They will not become enemies. So, but in material platform, there is a very good chance when there is a competition, they may become enemies. So that is what, Bhagavat Suhrut and then normal Suhrut. So there is a slight difference. So we need to understand. So this is the first line, So now they are saying that, let's go back to the verse. You see, evam savipro bhagavat suhrita. So that is the thing. So the Vipra, Sudama, he is a bhagavat suhrita. What is happening him? He observed what he observed. Drishtva, what he observed. Swabhrutyair ajitam parajitam. So this particular, what he saw is this particular Lord, he's Ajita. He's unconquerable, you know. So he's such a powerful person. Mm, he defeated many big demons like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, and then everything. So, um, uh, and then, in fact, in Bhagavatam says all these big, warriors and Kauravas like Karna and then everybody. So they are all actually, it's not they are inherited by Arjuna, but Krishna is devouring them like we devour prasadam, we honor prasadam, like so Krishna is devouring them in the form of time, so he defeats many big warriors. So he's Ajita, he cannot be conquered. But what this Brahmana saw is Drishtva Swabhrutyair, by his own servants, this personality who is Ajita got defeated. He became Parajita. So he got defeated. So this is the common principle mm, in the Bhakti Yoga, which is rare in other process of spiritual path, that Lord gets defeated. What sort of Lord is he? Yes, so that is what is the greatness of the Lord. Lord gets defeated. And then it is like uh, reciprocation. Like he gets defeated by whom? The question is. He gets defeated by Swabhrutya, his own servants. Means those who have surrendered themselves to the Lord, Lord reciprocates. Lord also surrenders to him. That's what is in the purport. So Lord Krishna gets surrendered to his devotees. So this is a very common principle throughout Bhagavatam. So when Bali Maharaj, he wanted to give charity. He wanted to give charity to Vamana, baby Brahmana. Not baby, he's a boy. So, and then he asked for three steps. Vamana asked for three steps, and Bali Maharaj said yes. And then Vamana became Trivikrama. With two steps, he occupied the entire lower planetary systems and upper planetary systems. So he said, "Come on, tell me, where is the third step I have to keep?" And then Bali surrendered. And then he said, "Okay, please keep me on my head. Please keep the third step on my head." And then Lord is so pleased. Lord is so pleased, you know. And then there's a big pastime, he's bound and then he's punished. Oh, you failed to give the third step of the land. And then there was a court, and then he was embarrassed publicly. But he was happy, oh my Lord, so I'm happy, whatever you do. And then seeing that surrender of Bali, Lord became his servant. And then Lord gave him all the opulence. Okay, take everything, So he gave him Bilaswarga, which is much more opulent than the actual heaven. So Lord gave him everything. And more than that, what Lord said, I'll be as a doorkeeper, gatekeeper in front of your palace. So Lord expressed his surrender towards his devotee. So this is the concept in Bhakti Yoga, which is very rare to find, which is very sweet. Lord likes to get defeated by his own surrendered devotees. We see he gets bound by Mother Yashoda. Sthitagraiva Damodaram Bhakti Baddham. So Lord is bound by the devotion. Panthastu Koti Satavatsara Sampragamya. So people are trying to catch Lord, yogis are trying to catch Lord, and then here Lord is bound by devotion. So there is one more very nice verse, 10:14:3. So I'd like to share. So this concept comes, you see, 10:14:3. ज्ञाने प्रयासमुदपास्य नमन्त एव जीवन्ति सन्मुखरितां भवदीयवार्ता स्थाने स्थिताः श्रुतिगतां तनुवां मनोभिः ये प्रायसोज्जितजितोऽप्यसि त्रैस्त्रिलोक्यम्. See, the same words comes. Ye prayasa o ajita jitopyasi. So what is the meaning here? Again, the same mode is coming. Translation: those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, throw away the process of speculative knowledge and, with their body, words, and mind, offer all respects to the description of your personality and activities. So, this is the Bhakti Yoga, dedicating their lives to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees. What happens? Such people certainly conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within these three worlds. Ye prayaso jita jitopyasi tais trilokyam. Lord is unconquerable. But those who follow this Bhakti Yoga, repeating the glories that are sung by Lord and then his devotees. So Lord sings the narration, his devotees glorify. All we have to do is just repeat. That's it. So what we are doing now is we are repeating the words of Vyasa, so who glorified Lord. So this is Bhakti Yoga. And then if we do that, Lord gets conquered. So this is what Sudama was saying. Drishtva Swabhrutyair Ajitam Parajitam, he saw. Now what happens? Seeing this particular pastime, so what happens? There is an urge. We get a lot of urges. Oh, there's a good food. Come on, eat it. So what is a party? Party food. Oh, we have a lot of food. So our colleagues were saying, enjoy the holidays. Have good food. Good food means we have to. Vega comes. Oh, eat it, grab it, grab it. So this is a Vega. Vega means a strong, irresistible urge. So we have the six urges: Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jihva Vegam, Udara Upastha Vegam. So these are Vegas, Vacho Vegam. I have to say something, I have to speak something, gossip something, say about something, others, to the third person, share, or else nowadays, I don't know, we don't speak much, but we keep it on the social media. But yeah, so that Vacho Vegam, Vega, irresistible urge that is there. Manasa Krodha Veg, Manasa, so we have the Veg of mind. So many things are going on in my head, please. So many things are going on in my head. So it's a Krodha Veg and anger, So sometimes when we are driving in New York and then people try to sneak in their way and then we get so angry, use some bad words, but we restrain. Oh, we are practices of spiritual, we are on spiritual path, we should restrain ourselves. So these are some urges. So these are some negative urges which we are seeing, or urges in some wrong direction. But what is happening? Sudama, seeing all this, Lord is getting surrendered to his own devotee. So he also got Veda, he also got urge, So what sort of urge? Tad Veda. So Tad Dhyana Vega, Dhyana Vega. So Dhyana means meditation. So that strong urge of meditation, he's completely, I'm using that word, absorption. You know, many times Prabhupada has asked, can you summarize Krishna consciousness or bhakti process in one word? One word. So many times, different instances, Prabhupada gave different, thing, attention, and then things like that. But one time, Prabhupada used this word, absorption. That is essence. Just focus, bhakti yoga, focus. Get absorbed in the glories of Lord. You know, so tad dhyana vega. So he became so much absorbed seeing that sort of magnanimous Lord who gets surrendered to his devotees. So this is the effect of bhakti yoga, of seeing. So we get absorption. And then what is the result of that absorption? Udgradita, untie what? Subandhana, untie the knots. Whatever are the remaining. So he is a Brahmana, he is a very learned scholar, very austere, simple living. What problem he has? We are saying that untying knots, he also has knots. Yes, sir. Bhakti yoga, yes, we have knots. Having knots is not a problem. They slowly get untied. So we see, right? Shunvatam Sukata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridayantasto hi abhadrani vidhanoti suratsata. You know, slowly, so these all anarthas go away. But we should not jump off the train. So we should stay on the process of this Bhakti Yoga. And then that's what Sudama did. And then what was the knot he had? He's very much attached to his simple living, you know, poverty, renunciation. Oh, I'm a very renounced person. I'm a very simple person. Recently, I was hearing one class. We are simple nothing. Yesterday, Gaussian posted. We are simple nothing because that is taken already by Goswamis. The best of the people is taken by others, and then the simplest of the people, those positions are already taken. So we are simple nothing. So we should not be attached to renunciation. So that sort of it's very powerful, to conquer wealth, attraction towards opposite gender, all these things maybe we can easily conquer. But attachment to simplicity, very difficult to overcome. But that can also be overcome by the Vega, Dhyana Vega, absorption on Lord. And then finally, what happens? The last thing, the result of the Tadhama Lebhe Chirata Satam. So ultimately, so this process, again, His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj was telling, it's not like a tornado, So just throw you somewhere randomly, pick you up and throw you somewhere randomly. No, it has a proper start point and then proper end point, So it takes us somewhere. So what happened here, Sudama? So it took him to Tadhama, his personal abode, Lord's personal abode. So this process of Bhakti Yoga took this Brahmana to the Lord's personal abode, mm, which is very difficult to attain, but yeah. And then how they give a rider also, Achira. So it's very fast, it's very quick. Means in this lifetime itself. It's not that all of a sudden he disappeared from his family life and then he got manifested in Goloka. No, he had his life, Nati Lampata, yesterday or day before yesterday, he was giving Adigadada Prabhu. So he was not having Nati Lampata, so he was not overly attached. He got, he used all those things in the service of the Lord. But seeing everything, seeing a beautiful palace, he was very grateful. He was able to connect it to Krishna. Oh, how magnanimous Krishna is. He gave me this palace. So that sort of connecting everything to Krishna is the success of life, which Sudama could do, right? And then at the end of his life, he went back home, back to Godhead. So this is what is Achira. You see, one entire lifetime is considered as quickly. That means uh, our journey is eternal. So one lifetime is nothing but a spark. So, and then if you can dedicate this one particular spark in service of Krishna, so we'll get benefited eternally. So Achira, so he got that uh, quickly. And what is it? It is Satam Gati. So it is the path that is attained by all the great people. It's not just a one-off thing. So it is already this particular path, destination is bona fide, and then it is already achieved by a lot of great people. So there are examples to follow. Sometimes we say, you Hare Krishnas are mad people. You don't know what you are doing. You are being misdirected. Some people say rational. You are all sentimental people. No, sir. Very lot of great people, you know, who are best of the scholars, and then who are best of the warriors, who are best of the wealthy people, Ambarish Maharaj, so what all they have, so all of those people, they attain this, perfection, Satam Gati. So we are not anyways so great, but still, what we are following is a safe path in that sense. So we have got examples to follow. So we are on a safe path. So that's what Sudama also attained. So just to summarize today's discussion. So Sudama, who is he? He is Bhagavat Suhrita. So there can be friendship on different platforms in this world. There can be on bodily platform. There can be on the mental platform. So these things are still asat. They're temporary, and then so they sometimes they distract us on the path of spiritual life. And if we are sticking to this, sometimes friends may become even enemies. Okay, so we need to be very careful. But the friendship based on when keeping Krishna in the center, so that is very much uplifting. So as we saw in the case of Sudam, and then so we saw that drishtva svabhritya jito aparajit. So ajita became parajita. So uh, so Sudama saw how the Lord, who is unconquerable, got conquered by his own devotees, Swabhritya. So we saw that as because devotees surrender, Lord also surrenders himself. So this is a two-way reciprocation. So and then because of that sort of intense reciprocation, so the Vega, the strong urge came in Sudama's heart. What urge? Dhyana Vega. So meditation. Lord caught his attention 100%. So his mind got absorbed in that particular reciprocation. And then once his mind is caught up in that, what happens? All this bandhana, knots get untied. Knots get cut. So this is the way of cutting the knots. So is like getting absorbed ourselves in the glories of the Lord. And then the result, phala, is that, so we achieve the Lord's abode quickly, Achirat, and then that is a path which is already set by all great people, Satan Gati. Okay. So thank you all so much for patiently hearing this very nice pastime of Sudama and Krishna. So floor is open, please share some thoughts.
Thank you, Krsna Daya Prabhu. Great class, as always. Shastric, relatable. Thank you. One reflection that I had was that just like Sudama's qualification was that he was Krishna's friend, our qualification, besides our best effort, is that we have the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. We're Srila Prabhupada's grandchildren. That's our qualification.
Perfect. Perfect. Yes, this is the most simple thing. Many times Srila Prabhupada said, "Oh, you don't have any qualification. I made your qualification." So we feel so sheltered, in the Srila Prabhupada. That's why he's Abhaya Charan. So he gives us shelter, no fear. Yeah. Thank you. And
Thank
then,
you.
but because of his mercy, we got this Bhagavatam class. He arranged the proper system of morning program. He arranged the temples so where we can gather a sangha, we can discuss. And purports, many times Srila Prabhupada said, these Bhaktivedanta purports are my devotional ecstasies. One time he said. And then one time he said, these purports are not written by me. This Krishna is personally writing. So some of his followers translated, oh, Krishna is inspiring and Prabhupada is writing. He said, Prabhupada, no, Krishna is personally writing. So Prabhupada was very, so because of Srila Prabhupada mercy, we are here. After so many years, after he leaving this world, we are able to discuss. So it's all greatness of Srila Prabhupada and his disciples.
Yeah. Okay, dear devotees, Das, you look so handsome. Would you like to glorify Krishna? Would you like to reflect back? Something that stuck out to you, maybe? You either move Das closer to the camera or move camera closer to Das. Somebody drag him. Yeah. Okay, good.
We're very fortunate. The association of devotees, and each devotee gives a different perspective, and they're according to their view, according to their service, and it's just a wonderful thing, wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Das. Okay, dear devotees, it's your turn to shine. Please ask a question. We see Madan Gopal Prabhu is here. Madan Gopal Prabhu, if you're inspired to speak, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, I just want to thank Krsna Daya Prabhu for a very inspiring class. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
See, Krsna Daya Prabhu, who is in attendance. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very tall order. Okay, Vanisha has her hand up.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Krishna Daya Prabhu, for class. I don't have a question, more of just a reflection and just gratitude. Thank you for walking us through that expression about dhyana vego. I can't pronounce this. Grahitatma bandhanas. That thinking about the momentum, that uncontrollable urge of his meditation on the Lord untied the knots of his bondage, because we know that's not something we can do ourselves, but it's very moving to think about that movement of what is that uncontrollable urge. It's striking me like that feeling of like an ocean wave, or when you really fall in love with somebody, or those moments of immense gravity that aren't of your own making. And I'm just wondering if you have any more reflections on that movement of the Vega of meditation and absorption.
Thank you so much for your reflection. I was actually, there are so many examples from Bhagavatam and Krishna's pastime, how devotees exhibited those moments. I was just reflecting on one pastime. So where Krishna comes as a messenger, final attempt from between Pandavas and Kauravas, he goes to Duryodhana's assembly. He conveys the message, and then after that, he is supposed to take rest in the night. Duryodhana asks, "Please come to my palace." But Krishna says, "No, I am a messenger between you people. I can't come to your palace." So he goes to Vidura, who is the uncle of Duryodhana. He goes to Vidura's palace. And Vidura is a very simple, austere person, very great devotee. And then the time when he goes, Vidura is not around. And then Vidura's wife, Vidurani, is there. And seeing Krishna, she gets that urge, unresistible urge, Vega. What she does is, oh, Krishna has come, what should I do? What should I do? And then husband is not around, and then, I should offer him a seat, and then I should offer him something to eat. And then she offers a seat, and then she, in that ecstasy to offer, she takes a banana and then peels off the banana, throws the banana and offers the peel to the Lord. That is the urge. In that urge, you don't know what you're doing, but it's 100% pure urge. And then seeing that Lord is happy with that banana peel. Lord is completely pure, and then he accepts, everything pure. So that is the urge, so, and that urge actually comes because of our, absorption. So now the thing is, there's a very nice word used, drishtva swabhrutya ajito parajitam. So what happens? He saw that particular interaction of unconquerable Lord getting conquered. So now how that urge comes? When we are able to see that particular interaction. He could see that. Now, okay, why we are not getting the urge? We can, if we see that particular interaction, we will also get that urge. And how we can see? We can see with the eyes of those who are seeing, like Srila Prabhupada and his great disciples who are translating those things. They are saying, please see. That's why the scriptures are called darshanas. They are the eyes, they gives the vision. So seeing these purports, we also get that particular urge. So that's what,
Thank you.
yeah, there are so many such pastimes, where devotees, are driven. So those urges are exhibited. Gopis are excellent. So many pastimes. This 10th canto is like full of that.
Yeah, we hear that one. I think you've even spoken about it, about the illiterate Brahmin who is reading the Bhagavad Gita upside down, but he's crying just thinking of
Yes.
Krishna being kicked by Arjuna as his charioteer. So yeah, so beautiful. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
The guru, it's a mercy of guru, and then so the illiterate is getting the touch. And yeah, I was able to thank Madan Gopal Prabhu for joining today's class. Thank you.
Haribol.
Thank you.
Bhakti Center has their hand raised. Is that from before? Is that Dasa's hand or Adi's hand? Or Manohar's hand? Adi's hand is Soen. I don't know if he's.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
There's only about 1 minute left. We've been praying to Prabhupada what to say. Sometimes people say something in class, and then even a few days later, kind of ruminates, and you just kind of, wow, what Nityananda Prabhu was speaking just now today about the material relationships and relationships with Krishna in the center, and the degrees of absorption, and how Krishna reciprocates with that. And if you really give yourself totally to Krishna, Krishna gives himself to you. But just a couple of days ago, Nityananda Chandra was speaking about, even in the context of giving yourself to Krishna, there's a qualitative shift. At first, it might be admiration. You appreciate how wonderful is Krishna, and that's a good thing. And then service, appreciation is one thing, but actually wanting to please Krishna, wanting to do something to offer to Krishna, that's another level. And then the parental affection, the caring for Krishna even before he's asking, and then the real love that Madhurya Ras is. And one thing he said which really impressed me, he said, so people pray to Krishna and they make a prayer, Lord, give me this, Lord, I need that. But then he said the Hare Krishna mantra is not a prayer, it's a love song. Did you hear that when he said that the other day? Hare Krishna is actually a love song. It's not just glorifying the Lord or asking the Lord for something, but it's an affectionate verbalization of our love, which is, kind of like an interesting to get to that level. We have love of God, not just praise of God. So I was kind of impressed with that, just sharing that. Well, Lord, Srila Prabhupada, here comes the Radha Muralidhar. Going to sing a love song, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Krsna Daya Prabhu. Thank you. That wasn't a class. That was a love song. 45-minute love song. Thank you, Krsna Daya. Okay, darshan time. Turn on your cameras. Sit up straight. Nice. So nice to see you. I'm taking darshan of you.
About to go to speak with great honor, great ocean. I only wish to have my consciousness purified by the words of some for so attachment to the colors creates perfection. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart. He is my Lord, birth of earth. Static training.
O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter of your precious lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Manohar Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, Adipusha Prabhu, when are you going to reflect on Krishna Daya's class? Next week sometime? Okay. Adipusha Prabhu. It was Krishna Daya's class. He was supposed to reflect on that.
I gave a summary of this whole class. He talked about the material relationships and his relationship with Krishna and how fully absorbed in Krishna's service Krishna will reciprocate and give himself to you. That was his whole class. I reflected on the whole class. But the thing that occurred to me, whether you think it's valid or not, was the idea of the different qualitative relationships with Krishna, from admiration to service to, parental kind of care, and then actually really love, and that the Hare Krishna mantra is a love song. I thought that was just so cool. But then what I wanted to add to that, what I felt like Krishna was telling me to add to that, was the idea that we do this with each other also. We say, Prabhu, there's an idea of respect and admiration and looking up to someone. And then above that, there's the servant. Some people will respect you, but they're not really trying to serve you. That's an incremental. Uh,
No, Adipusha Prabhu. Wait till you get out of the elevator.
Sweet. And like there's this one girl, this one devotee. I know when she says, Prabhu, she's saying master. She's actually, chastising you. And it's kind of like hilarious. So we can be like that with each other also. There can be admiration and respect. There can be friendship. There can be serving each other. Or actually, there can be a level of really showing genuine affection for each other, which is relief, because the material world is so cold and dry, and people are not only not loving each other, they're competing with each other, and there's this, false ego against false ego, and it's just so contentious and unsatisfying. So there's the different levels of relationship to Krishna, from just admiring Krishna to serving Krishna to actually showing affection, and also with each other. So we look forward to that, because yesterday's verse was about how Sudamma Vipa was having some level of renunciation, but he was saying, and someday I'm going to really, really go for the whole, potato. He was talking about how there's another level of a spiritual life that I long for and will go toward. So it's nice to know that no matter where we are, there's a higher level, and we can keep making progress. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm talking so long here.
So how do you shift the gear to this higher level? What do you do?
Well, first we hear about it,
Okay.
then we want it, then we talk about it, right? And then we start to take steps in that direction, right? If we know that in the next room they're serving prasadam, first we hear about it, then we think, I'm going there, and then we start to walk in that direction. We open the door, and next thing you know, we're taking prasadam. But if we don't, Ram
And
is
then
talking.
you
Let us see
start.
Ram. We can't see him. There he is. He's eating. This
Yeah.
poor baby. Hello, Ram. Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that rubber thing he's chewing on is offered to Krishna.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you hear about Prashanam, you go in the room, you start taking Prashanam, and then next thing you know, you're serving out Prashanam, right? Is that the next
That's good.
level? Yeah.
That's even higher than
Yeah, that's higher than eating Prashanam, is serving Prashanam. There's another beautiful analogy for
Hare Krishna,
Mahamantra.
glory to Prabhupada.
All goes to
Thank you so much.
Prabhupada. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a love song. There's another beautiful analogy for Mahamantra. You know, we're all bees. They're hungry for nectar. And when we fly towards nectar, our wings go, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. That's our wings, right? And our hairy bodies are rushing to nectar. Yeah. I'm thinking of Bhima Prabhu. His hairy body is rushing for nectar. He's quiet today. I don't know why. Is it ecstasy? He's speechless? I would imagine that's the case. Bhima Prabhu, we love you. Okay, who wants to speak? Mary Ellison, would you like to reflect? Anything?
Um, yeah, it was the thing that stood out to me most was the friendship part and how it reflects. I mean, for me, it brought up just thoughts of friendships with humans and how the closer I get to Krishna and diving into my spiritual practices, the more the more my relationships shift, and I feel like Krishna weeds out all of the um the negative relationships that I maybe have been too nostalgic for to weed out myself. Um and I find myself surrounded by more and more devotees and wanting to be around more and more devotees. It's like using the prasadam analogy. It's like once you get a taste of that sweet, delicious food, you just want to eat it all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't, I've come to a point where I don't really trust anyone who doesn't want to eat prasadam. Like I met a new person yesterday actually, and I brought samosas from Thursday night kirtan from the prasadam that they sell, and they've never had samosas before, and they were just like, I I don't want to eat that. I don't know what that is. And like in the conversation of it, I like explains prasadam, and they just were not about it. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this person isn't gonna stay in my life. I'll love you from a distance. But it was just like the closed-mindedness, of it. So it's I feel like the deeper and deeper I get into my friendship with Krishna, the the more and more I want to be around people that
Take Prashanam.
right and that like
Yeah.
understand it and want to be open to at least learning about it.
Thank you, Mary Ellison. I,
You're
I have I
welcome.
have the same thing going on in my life. Same thing. I don't want any other association but the association of the devotees. Bhima
Right.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Where's the interjection? Bhima Prabhu. Where are you?
Haribol,
Hare Krishna.
Haribol. Um, I just wanted to say is, by the way, Mary Allison is our yoga instructor that New York Spirit Retreats has hired to teach the kids of Covenant House. These are homeless, runaway, trafficked, drug addicted children under the age of 21, and we started a yoga program with Covenant House for these kids. And Mary Ellison, we had searched all around, and through Jamuna Jaya, Mary Ellison was referred, and we heard nothing but wonderful things. And we hope that this connection, this thread to bhakti yoga, can come through. Like we're in like a needle and out like a plow. So we enter with, okay, the hatha yoga fundamentals of just be still, just become aware of yourself, become aware of your breathing, become aware of your body, become aware that you have control over your body. A lot of these children, especially the girls, didn't have control and gave that control over to somebody else. And we all know the trouble that happens after that. And this yoga is so important. And what Mary Allison is going to be doing with these kids is so important. And that's why we always, though we seek the association of devotees at all times, what we're really called upon doing is whatever 1, 2, 10, 30% Krishna consciousness that we do have, that little something of faith in that's solid within us, that prashadam, that is our faith, that we can hand down transparently to others who are in a position, patita pavana, the most fallen, so to speak, or the most distraught, that we can do this outreach at all times, and that we should never say to ourselves, I want to get out of the association of others who are not interested, but rather than let them become interested in me because I'm happy and I'm joyful, and there seems to be a serenity and a surety and a love that's emanating from me by natural concourse of our relationship with the devotees, Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, who reached out to the most fallen as well, as we discussed yesterday, and bring them forward. That is actually our mission. Not so much for us to worry about our purified day, but being humble enough to realize that we've been given a responsibility to take whatever we have going for us by virtue of our Krishna consciousness, that 1%, and give it to those who are most in need. And those may be the people who are most troubling, most dark, most out of the mode of goodness and into the mode of darkness, most having nowhere else to turn except in the end to Krishna within their heart. And I'd just like to say I'm very proud of Mary Allison taking on this responsibility. And I'm so happy to have the association, like Das said, of all the devotees. Sometimes we say to ourselves, if it wasn't for the devotees, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. All glories
Thank
to
you,
you.
Ram. Thank you, Ram, for concurring with what I just said.
Yeah, yeah. All glories to Mary Ellison. Yeah, being a yoga teacher is one thing, but being a devotee yoga teacher, that's a whole other story. Mary Ellison, thank you so much. And it may not occur to the people right away, oh, Krishna is God and all that, but somewhere down the road, they will always come back to it. When the heat goes up, they can always go back to what they have heard once from a devotee. And that can play out, in a very powerful way in their life. We don't know. We don't know when, how, and why, but we should do our part. Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. Thank you, Mary Ellison. Krishna Chandra has his hand up.
Hare Krishna. Oh, no, I just wanted to just make a very quick comment because we were talking about friendship, I guess, on the transcendental platform, and I wanted to just say how very pleased I am to be in the company of such fine devotees and having your friendship, and thank you so much.
Right back at you, Krishna Chandra. Thank you for being part of this family.
Thank you. Always pleased to be here.
Tell him, Ram. Tell him. Tell him how wonderful is Krishna. All right. Okay, on this high note, we're going to wrap up the yagya for today. Who wants to say Hare Krishna? Das? Unmute him, unmute him, unmute him. Unmute, please. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hire a secretary. Hire Das as your secretary.
Ram just said it. He said, right when you asked, he said, which everybody knows is Hare Krishna.
Jai, thank
Very
you.
good,
Hare
very
Krishna.
good. Hey,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Take care, everybody.
Hare
See you
Krishna.
tomorrow. Hare Bol. Ram, say bye.
Okay.